Okay, I just wanted to talk about some really, I think this is probably the number one common error while using Maya, and it's fundamental to the good mesh geometry building, yet very poorly understood. And it has partially to do with the workflow. So, to give you an example, here is a plane. This is just one by one plane, very simple. You can't get any simpler than this, really. So you got four vertices. You can make modifications. It's super, super simple. So let's say you want to extrude this face, right? So you select right mouse, click, select the face. And if you choose the extrude face, you know that you can go ahead with giving a thickness. Let's adjust the speed on that so that the pie chart is small. So you can give thickness to this to get this block here. You know this already, okay? So now there's nothing wrong with this, and that's fine. But here, this is not really the problem, but problem can happen even for an operation like this. So let me do an undo, okay? Z, 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 Z. And I'm gonna do Z one more time and make sure that you undo until there's no more highlight. There's no orange highlight for the face selection. Because if you don't, this is what could happen. So let me give you an illustration of what could happen. So let's say I select the face and I'm going to do the same extrude again. So I will do the extrude, but for some reason I start the command, but I decide not to go through with it. So I just do a mouse click. So now I got a huge problem. This is by far one of the biggest error problem, and a lot of people don't realize it. So I will deselect this. I will go into object mode, click, and now the shading is a little bit like suspicious already. So that's, at least an indication of something wrong, right? And then if you look at this, it looks like a thin, no thickness plane. But if you select a face and just move this around. Now, keep in mind that I'm doing a mouse click, just one click, but not a box select like this. That's different, okay? The difference is that if you do a single click like this, you're only clicking one thing out of many possible things in that area. But if you do a box selection, you're saying, I'm gonna select everything that is touched by or inside of this box. So there's a huge difference there. So once again, let me deselect this and then do a face selection and just do click, okay? Just one click. Now watch, if I do a move command and move this around, oh, lo and behold, look at that. There actually was all these side wall faces with all these edges sitting there, but they were zero size. Okay, I'm gonna do undo one time. See, they were sitting there, and this corner, this wasn't just one vertex, this was actually two vertices with zero size edge, with zero size faces all the way around here. So zero size face here, two edges, two vertices here, uh, two edge, zero size, two faces here, along with this large face, okay? So we've got overlapping geometry. Sometimes it's called coplanar geometry, all kinds of problems. So this is a huge problem here. And in order to take care of this, you have to delete these extra faces here, like this. Now we're back to what it was, and you can see that the face direction is opposite because that was the bottom of that block shape that was made. So you have to do this reverse command to get to where it was before. So now this is a regular plane with one face. Now you can imagine like something more complex. So I'm going to delete this one, and here's a plane that is more complex. I'm going to give it about 4 by 4. So I got more faces here. So let's say I selected some of these faces here, and I want to do an extrusion, extrude face. But then for some reason I changed my mind. So I do a mouse click, and then I get out of it. Well, that may look normal, but it's not. It's got all these overlapping faces and edges right in this area. And if you might go ahead and like do a modeling operation on this and move along change shapes and whatnot, but you can already see that if you select this face and move it around, watch, look at that. See, there were all these like faces sitting there that you didn't bother using, right? So you had overlapping edges and vertices. Once again, super common, happens a lot if you don't watch yourself. And a quick way to verify that is though, if you do a subdivision, just press number 3. Look at that. I mean, it gives you all these double edges that are parallel. It's like, what's going on? I got 2 edges here, but if you do 1, it looks like 1. Well, you say, then aha, that's not just 1 edge here. It's 2 edges and all these overlapping, okay? So that's one of the first ways to verify if there's something more than what meets the eye. Once again, if you want to clean this up though, gee, you have a lot of work to do. I mean, this one, let's see. Okay, so you have to figure out what are the double-lapping edge, yeah, double overlapping faces. So what I could do is I could do shift click on all these faces here. Once again, I'm not doing any box drag selection like this because if you do that, you're gonna select bunch. You just do mouse click without dragging. Make sure that that's the case. Now, if I do shift click drag on the whole thing, I got all these zero size faces selected, okay? No, they don't highlight because they're zero size, but I got them selected. So if I delete what I selected here, I think I got rid of most of them. And if I select these faces and move it around, yeah, you see, I got openings here. It's showing me there's all these edges that are open, right? But at least I don't have zero size faces, but I do have double edges and double vertices, okay? But that's not a problem. There's a single command that takes care of it. So what I got here is, let me do undo to the point where they're sitting exactly there. So these areas here, oops, wrong selection. Let's go to vertex. If I do a click here and move it around, you see there's actually two vertices here, right? Let me do undo a few times. So these areas have double vertices and double edges, you know. But the way to take care of that, there's a simple command that takes care of it. If you have double overlapping vertices at any time, at what you can do is you can use the merge vertex command. So merge vertex command is available in edit mesh merge, this one here, okay, merge. So that's merge. It should say merge vertices or something, but that's what merge means, okay? It doesn't mean anything else. It's merging vertices. So if you go into the option box here, you can specify the distance, minimum distance that these vertices can be apart. And anything closer than this distance, the vertices that are closer than the 0.01 distance, it will be pulled into one vertex and be fused together. That's what this means. So you can have a large number or a small number or zero number. Usually I like to specify something very small like this, because I might have a little bit of gap there, but something like 0.01, 0.01. And since this is a real world unit, I mean, if you have a super small object, that means that this distance is pretty big for that object. But if you have a huge object, then you need to have a bigger number correspondingly, probably. Okay, so that's all relative to the size of the object you're working on. So now if I merge this, well, I didn't have anything selected, but let me select this. So, first of all, let me show you the number 3. If I do the subdivision display, look at that. I mean, it looks like these areas are unusual, right? Because these are the open edges that have been basically detached edges, right? So you know that there's something going on here. But like I said, you can take care of this a single operation. Just go to Edit Mesh Merge, and I'm going to use this default merge. And what it did was it put those double vertices together into one. So if I do number 3 display, it's smooth, right? I'm pressing number 1, number 3, no difference. And if I move these around, yeah, no problem. So I'm back to good geometry without those kind of problems. Now, when you have a really highly complex model, and let's say you did a few number of extrusions here and there, I'm just doing shift click drag to do this, and you know, and and make some complex geometry and so forth, right? And then let's say I did some, you know, whatever kind of modeling operation that you want to do. Just do multi-cut here, create a few more faces. And, you know, if you got a more complex, let me create one more here. Okay, so if you have something like this, and then if you have, let's say, if you selected a few faces here and say, hey, I might want to extrude some of these guys here, and if you execute the extrude, but then if you don't complete the operation and just do a click and then deselect, now I got a pretty big problem because here, well, even number 3 here, it doesn't give you such a like unusual look. It's like, oh yeah, sure, I got this little round edge here. All right, well, that's nice. Well, no, it's not. It's not really that great because what you got here is you got all these zero size faces and double edges and double vertices right here. So let me select one face. Once again, you can't do drag selection when you do this because if you do drag select, it will select everything around that area. You don't want to do that. You just want to select one face, okay? Select one face here, move it around, watch these edges here. Look at that. See, I got doubles here. So that's a problem. This one, geez, how can I take care of this? Uh, you have to kind of like move these out like this, okay? And then use these shift, right mouse, merge, let's see, okay, so put it on vertex mode, selection, and then shift, right mouse, merge vertices, target weld. Okay, merge vertices, target, oh, sorry, target weld. You can click drag these points to these points. So the idea is to, and then at that point, all these extras have been deleted. I have to repeat that on this side. So if I do a number 3 here, see this side is okay, right? I don't know why it's giving me like this way, but anyways, just look at the. Oh, I think it's because I'm in the middle of a merge operation. So let me do object mode. Press Q. Yeah, so here, if I do number 3 subdivision, this is more smoother, but this one is sharper looking because it's got doubles here, right? So let me move these. Once again, no drag selection, okay? That's not what you're doing. You have to do click because that guarantees only one object selection. So let me move these out of the way. And then here, make sure that you don't move these vertices out of the way because those are the destinations. You know, you don't want you want to have a destination target to move this to. If that makes sense, I hope that makes sense, but if it didn't, but don't worry about it. Put it on vertex selection, tip, right mouse, merge vertices, target weld, click drag, click drag, click drag. Yeah, I don't have a target destination here, but I can snap that to this location later. But you want to do that all the way around here, okay? So just drag that here, and so forth, okay? So same thing, you know. So the idea is to move the, you know, some faces and edges out of the way so that you can see all the, you know, vertices and faces, and then have some, you know, target to weld this back to. So now I don't have a target to move this point to, so let me do Q, and then move this, and I don't know where to move this to, but that's not a problem. You just activate this with a constraint, the yellow arrow, and then use the middle mouse button with the V key, middle mouse. So that snaps it to any target that the cursor is close to. So here I'm just using these as the target, but with the constraint. Okay, oops, sorry. It's a little bit, so let's do that again. Activate the constraint, V, middle mouse button, there you go. And I think I'm good here. Okay, so yeah, that's clean geometry here. So yeah, be mindful of that incomplete extrude step because that's a very common error. And I think I still have a problem here. Can you see? Right? It looks like one edge, but it's actually two, so I have to take care of that. So good thing is if you do like vertex selection here, this can be confusing. It's like, oh yeah, that looks like one vertex, but it's not, it's two. So, but if you do number three display, you can just select one vertex here, and then maybe this one too, and then move that out of the way. Okay? So, oops, there you go. So now I move this out of the way. Um, like with these, you don't have to use the merge. There's another way to take care of this. So you can realize that there's actually one, two, three, four faces here, right? So what you can actually do is you can select the extra edges. You only want only one face, one large face here. So just select these edges, shift click them, okay? Selected all the edges and delete, done. Okay, so that's another way to do that. Let's press number three to examine. I think, oh yeah, see, I missed one here. So same thing. So let me select this edge here. If you go back to number one display, see that seems like one edge, but no, that's two edges with zero size edge here and all these. So I'll do the same thing on the other side. So let me select these extra edges here. Okay, look at that. So I got these two, this one in the middle, these two on the bottom. Delete those, and I'm good. Okay. So yeah, I think I'm fine here. So let's see if I do a little bit extra, if I just produce the more complex geometry here, modify, convert smooth mesh preview to polygon. Okay, and then if I want to 3D print this shape, I can extrude that to give thickness. Once again, if you started a extrude operation, either go through with it and complete the steps, or if you want to do undo, you have to do undo until you don't have that orange highlighted selection anymore. Because if the orange selection highlight is still visible, that means that you got double faces and edges. Okay, so this is still good geometry. So I can go through with this step, and then um, when it's dark, just do Control F, reverse, and there you go. And this is 3D printable and geometry. Usually I like to do another round of three and then give it more like even smoother for these edges. Okay, and then go through another round of conversion to maybe that's too high of a resolution, so maybe I'll do it that much. Okay, so let's do, yeah, so that's a pretty good resolution for 3D printing and rendering in external software if you're using any. So that would be the lesson on bad geometry due to incomplete, non-completed extrude operations, and how to take care of the problem by using the merge vertex or target weld or deleting some edges operations. Okay, so I hope that helps you. Thanks.